Alright, so this is an attempt to redo my kitchen countertops. I wanted to try and just buy one of the kits myself and do it. If this doesn't turn out, I'm letting you know now. I'm not an expert. I just wanted to share a video because when I looked up the videos, there was only a couple and they were just quick by the manufacturers. So I figured, hey, I'll try it, and if it works, then I'll go ahead and post it. So I just bought a simple do-it-yourself countertop paint kit. I'll post the supplies when I'm done. And what I started with already was simply just taping outside the edges of the countertops. And then I took a sander and I sanded and roughed up the edges and the surface, because you want to make sure that you get some of the gloss off the top that was previous there. And then of course you want to rough up the tops of it so that the paint sticks a little bit better. And now I'm going to apply my first coat of primer just by simply rolling it on. So what I'm doing next is simply laying on the primer. I have a little sponge tool that I'm using for the edges, and then I'm going back and forth to try and get as smooth of a finish as I can. And for the bigger parts, I have my foam roller here. And this is all the setup I have, just a simple paint container, roller, and sponge. And I'm just going back and forth, trying to get it as smooth as possible. I work in about 2.5 to 3 foot sections, as you can see. And now I'll start with my next 2 to 3 foot section. So as you can see, making some progress. Just continuing to roll it on here. And you'll notice there are a couple streaks. So you're gonna wanna go back and take care of those streaks. Just give it another nice light roll. And then just continue until you have your entire surface covered. Oh, and before I forget, I want to give a shout out to a couple people, those who have inspired me to actually create this quick video. Rob Anderson, I know he's doing some amazing things with the pressure cooker, so if that's your thing, make sure to check him out. I think he's got some sort of casserole special coming up for Thanksgiving. And then Linda Anderson also doing some great things with her vegan. I'm not sure what the proper term for that is, veganism or whatever she's doing over there, but she's doing some great toothpaste specials and things like that. So make sure to check them out as well. And 4 hours later, I'm putting on the second coat. You can see the difference. And then this will be it for the primer. Alright, so now the second coat has dried. It's been another 8 hours of drying. As you can see, it looks pretty smooth. That means so far I haven't screwed it up. This side as well. Now comes the tricky part. Okay, so what you have now are 3 different kinds of paint: charcoal, gold, and white. And I put them on paper plates, and I have 4 sponges, 1 for each color, and then a blending sponge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each color, starting with charcoal first, then the gold, then the white, then the blending, and just dab them on the countertop. Now you still want to work in the 2x2 surface like we talked about before, because you don't want to cover one coat all the way with one specific color and then come back and have that dry and then try to put the next one on and blend. So what you'll see me do is just choose a smaller area and then do all 3 colors and blend it before moving on. So I'll show you a quick demonstration of what I'm going to try here. I'll start with the charcoal, and if you push down too hard, you'll start to get blobs. Again, I've never done this before, so we'll give it a try here. So I'll start over here where you might be able to see, and I'm just gonna push down. You're gonna want to slightly overlap, so that way you know you're getting all of the pieces and put more. And let's just say that's about as big of a section I want to start with, just because I'm new to this and I don't want to screw it up. So there's my first color. I'm going to come over and get my second color, which is now the gold. Smudge on that first step there, but a lot of it will go away once I blend it in. And I'll blend that in a little more. That needs a little more paint. Let me get those edges good. But you don't want to put too much on the sponge, because then you will get blobs and dots, and you don't want that. Okay, I'm going to do it again. And now you start to get that marble look to it. At least I like to hope. And again, I'm gonna get a paintbrush out in a minute to get in between those cracks. Okay, and then the last step would be to blend. And I've actually blended quite a bit with that white, but I'm gonna hit it again, just in some areas that I think need to be blended a little more. And that's about it. So I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna keep going with this process for a while, and then I will show you what it looks like and keep moving in just a few minutes. All right, so a couple hours later, maybe 2 to 3 hours, I've gotten all of the countertops done. I'm putting on my third color for this section of white, because remember you want to do it in sections. And then I will blend it in just a few seconds here. Gotten a little bit better at this. Just like that, until it blends in with the rest of the counter. And after, like I said, close to about 4 hours, this is what you have. And tomorrow I will continue with the final steps, which will be most likely a light sand. I'll let you know what grit I use. And then you will start with obviously cleaning it, but then the gloss. The gloss is going to need 2 coats with about 8 hours in between. But that's basically what it's going to look like. And again, obviously it can be done because I am no professional at all. This is the first time I am trying this, and I like it much better than what it was before. Alright, so this is now sat overnight, so it's had plenty of time to dry. So I'm going ahead with what is going to be the last step of simply rolling on the gloss. Okay, then I'll let this dry for about 4 to 5 hours, and then I will put another coat of the high gloss on this. All right, and after a whole day of doing the seal coat and letting it dry, I did one more this morning. It has now dried for another at least about 8 hours. And this one, there it is, on the other side. And there you have it. And once all the tape is gone, you have your finished product.